We're making this habit tracker, and last time we got this far. Let's quickly talk about data types. We've used 3 so far: text, numbers, and booleans. Text and numbers are what they sound like. This is text. These are numbers. A boolean is something that only has 2 possibilities. It's either true or it's false. So these check marks, these are booleans because they can only either be checked off or not checked off. So when they're checked off, they're true. If they're not checked off, they're false. Now, we want to find the percentage of items that are checked off. So first, we need Google Sheets to count the number of checked off items. We'll do that using the COUNTIF function. Whenever we write a function, we always have to start by writing an equal sign. So equals. And what this does is tell Google Sheets that we don't want it to show what we're writing in, we want it to show the answer to what we're writing in. So if I write in equals 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, the answer to that is 2. So when I press enter here, you'll see it shows 2. Now let's start writing in our function. Equals COU. You'll see it's suggesting functions as I type in, and it even has a little description for each function. We want the COUNTIF function, so either press it with your mouse or just press down arrow until it's selected, and then you press either tab or enter. And here in green, it shows the syntax, or the way to write the function. Functions always have a function name, which in this case is COUNTIF, followed by brackets. Inside the brackets are any parameters, which just means any extra information to specify how you want Google Sheets to perform the function. In this case, Google Sheets needs to know the range, which is the area to count, and the criteria for when to count. So that is when the box is checked off. So to write in the range, you just press the top checkbox and drag down to the bottom one. Then you need to write a comma, or depending on your language settings, you might need to write a semicolon. And the criterion is true, because as we learned earlier, when the checkbox is checked off, Google Sheets reads that as true. True. Then we just need to close the brackets and press enter. So it's counted how many checkboxes are checked off. And if we check off more boxes, then it counts up. And if we uncheck boxes, then it counts down again. To make this a percentage, we need to divide by the total number of checkboxes. The function we're going to use is COUNTA. So press the cell again. And if you press in the bar at the top here, then you can edit what you've written. You can also double click on the cell, and then you can write directly in there. Or you can press the cell and press F2. Now write / to divide, and then COUNTA, COU, and just go down. And you'll see here in the description that it counts the number of values in a data sheet, which is exactly what we want. You'll see that inside the brackets it asks for value 1 and value 2, and so on. And this is just because you can ask it to count multiple ranges and values. So I could select this column, and this column, and ask it to count a value and a text. And whenever you're writing a text, you always have to surround it with quotation marks. So, hi. But we just wanted to count this column here. And close back and enter. Let me just make column C bigger so you can see. It's written this as a decimal number. And you might remember from school that to get a percentage, you multiply by 100 and add a percentage sign at the end, because percent means per 100. But you don't need to do that, because you can just ask Google Sheets to show it as a percentage by pressing this percentage sign here in the menu. Oh, let me just press on the cell first, and then percentage. So let's just get rid of these extra decimal places. And this button here with the left arrow will remove decimal places, and this one adds decimal places. And there we go. Now, if I make this column 21 pixels again, 21, you'll see that this is still too big to fit in the cell. So I'm just going to resize the whole row. And I find I have to go all the way down to like 5 or something, because I need it to still fit when it's 100%. So if you don't want the percentage to be so small, you could instead just resize the columns and make them wider. But let's fill this in for the rest of the columns. We could just drag over. And now if I press here, you'll see here the range is in column C, and here it's in column D, and column F, and so on. And that's because Google Sheets has shifted the range for each cell. But you'll notice that it's also copied the text color, and we don't want that because we already chose the text color we wanted for each cell before. So let's just undo here. And what we're going to do instead is just copy, so Control C, and then select this area here, and then right-click, paste special, formula only. So now you'll see it's kept the text color, and it has also shifted the range. So here we got C and D and E. The only thing it hasn't done is formatted as a percentage and decrease the decimal places. But we can just do that by selecting the whole row and press the format as percent and decrease the decimal places. And there we go. So let's do this for the rows as well. We need 2 more columns, so just grab 2 and right click, insert 2 columns right, and we'll do it again here. So equals count if, and grab the range here, comma, true, and then / to divide, and then count A, and grab the range again. Close bracket, enter. And here it will give you the option to autofill, which you can press yes, or if it doesn't give you that option, you can just drag it down, and then make it a percentage, decrease the decimal places, and decrease the font size, and that should be it. So now the progress bars. The function we're going to use is sparkline, so equals sparkline, and you'll see it's a miniature chart within a single cell. And I've got this extra information here, that's just by pressing this little arrow here. So the parameters are data and options. So the data is the range or array containing the data to plot. The data we want to plot is just the number of checked off items. So we'll just use count if again. And then the range, just select the boxes, and comma, true. Alright, and then comma, and then the options. Now these square brackets just mean that it's optional. So if this was a normal, if you'd made like a table with a bunch of x and y coordinates, then you would just select that and that could work just like that. But we have to specify the maximum and minimum value because we've just given it a number and it doesn't know how to plot that. So we have to know how to write that, and it's not giving us a lot of information here. So if we go to learn more, then you'll see the help menu pops up here. And it will give us some examples here, which is really helpful. So you see the options have to be surrounded by curly brackets. And then it comes in these pairs. So you have the chart type, comma, bar. And then you have max, comma, 40. And it's also separated by the semicolon. But the chart type we want is not bar. So let's go down to our options here and chart type. These are the types we can choose from. And we want the column chart. And so if we go further down, we'll see it gives us more options for column and win-loss sparklines. And we don't need to specify the color because we'll just do that with the text color. And we don't want an axis. But here the y-min and y-max. So that's how we have to write the minimum and maximum value. So curly brackets first. And then chart type in quotation marks. Type. And then comma, and then write the chart type that we want. So that is column. And that also has to be in quotation marks. And then the next option parameter, semicolon. And then we want y-min, and end quotation, comma, and the minimum value for us is 0. And then semicolon, and then the y-max value. Y-max, and comma. And the maximum value is the total number of checkboxes. So we'll use count A again. Count A. And select the range. There we go. And close bracket. And then we can close the curly bracket and close the sparkline bracket and press enter. And there we go. So if we deselect a bunch of these, you'll see the bar gets smaller. Let's just make this row bigger so you see better. It's working. So let's also copy this all the way over. Control C, and then select this, and right click, paste special, formula only. And then you'll see it in all the beautiful colors. We can make the progress bars grow. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Something like that. So let's do it for the rows as well. So equals sparkline, and then the data in this case is count if, and it's the row, and comma true, and then the options, so curly bracket, and chart type, and we don't want column now, column graph, because that goes the wrong way. We want it to go the other way now. We want it to go horizontally, so that's bar, and then semicolon. Now let's go back into here because the syntax for the bar graphs is different. So let's scroll down to bar charts. And here you see it's just max. There's no min, and Also with bar charts, you have to actually specify the color, because for some reason it doesn't work to just do the text color for that. So yeah, go max, comma, and that is count A, and select the range, and semicolon, color, oh wait, quotation marks, color, and we have to add the 1 here as well, because that's the syntax. It has to be color 1 or color 2, otherwise it won't work. And then comma, and let's just get rid of this. And the color I'm going to use is this number here, and I'll show you later how I got that exact number, or hexadecimal number. And then we'll close the bracket, and close the sparkline bracket, and enter, and there we go. Whee. So just copy this, and actually for this one I want the same color all the way, so just drag it down. Now it will update anywhere. Let's make this bigger. Not quite that big, something like that. There we go. Now you can see it growing a little better. And now we just need to add the background colors. So just continue the color down. So for this one, that's this red here, and here it's orange, yellow, green, cyan, and this color I want to be the next color in the row, so that's blue. And here that color was this pink here, magenta, but we want 1 shade up because this is header. And let's just write in progress here. We need to merge this first. And let's make it bold as well. And the same here. Merge, progress, and bold. And let's change the text color here as well to the second darkest color here. And this is how I got the color for the progress bars as well, because it's the same as the text color. So what I do is go in here to custom, press the plus sign, and here under hex, that's the hexadecimal number for the exact shade of blue. So you just copy that, and you can paste that into where your color is. So then you can match it to whatever color you have in yours. Now let's add some borders as well. So select the area here, and we'll go 2 shades up from the background color. And let's start with the thin lines. We'll just go the inside horizontal lines. And then we want the right side to be a thick line, and also the top and bottom. And then let's select this area here and give it a thick top and bottom as well. Then let's do this one. And as we're already on thick, we'll do the thick lines first. There, and we just want a thick line at the bottom. No wait, we want one on the right as well. There we go. And then the thin lines, oh, if I select the thin line now, it will make the last one I selected thin, which is not what I want. So we'll make that one thick again. So we have to select where we want the thin lines first. We'll just do the inside vertical, and then make it thin. And then we'll do the next section, the green ones. And as we're on thin now, we'll do the inside vertical ones, and then we also want one on the right side here, because that one hasn't been drawn in yet. And then we'll get the bottom one and make it thick. And then the yellow. And here we want it to go 3 shades up, and we're on thick, so we'll do the bottom one, and then we'll do the inside vertical ones thin, and add the right one. And then orange, also 3 shades up. And we've got inside vertical ones and thin, and then the bottom one will be thick. Red. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot to add the right side as well. There we go. Make it thin. And then red. It's only 2 shades up, and we're on thin, so let's do inside, and then bottom, and make it thick. And, oh, I forgot the right side again. I'll make that one thin as well. And then this one, we'll just have a thick line all the way around. Magenta was also just 2 shades up. So thick all the way around. And there we go. It looks pretty good. Let's just merge this. And now we just need to remove the grid lines. View, show, uncheck grid lines. And it's beautiful!